Obviously, in any kind of mine, you can't be afraid of the dark because it's
Oh no, yeah,
it
they
is
get
pitch
dark.
dark
Yeah.
in there.
My dad was always a catfishing, and they used to catfish back in the days. Back, and that was back in the days when there was a lot more water
What are
around.
you gonna do with that? He's like, I'm gonna take it home and eat him. I'm like, that's a gopher snake. I'm like, that's okay.
Whatever.
Maybe. Yeah, he got it home and he cooked it. He threw it on the grill and it was so tough.
Figure out how I can share it aside from the videos and stuff, which I've enjoyed. And
Welcome to Two Side Outdoors. Hey guys, welcome to another episode. So on today's episode, I got a guy that I just recently met. That you're from Tucson, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah, so Mr. Clayton. So how's it going?
It's going good, man. I'm pretty excited about this catfish tournament coming up this weekend.
Yeah, see, I need to sign myself up one of these days for the Rod and Gun Club out here. I haven't even thought about it yet.
I'm going up Friday, and I'm gonna get it there early whenever Hideaway
Opens up,
and I'm gonna sign up. Yes, sir.
Cool.
And I've been looking for catfish tournaments for a long time, and it's pretty crazy how the Joseph's channel popped up on Facebook, and I tried to got invited or whatever, and not a week after they posted the catfish tournament, I was like, I am there.
That's awesome. No, yeah, I've that was my second tournament that I was in basically with him. I did his last year, and I got the smallest fish award.
Oh, that's really good. I like how he does that, honestly.
Well, so last year, it was kind of just like a night before thing. I had suggested it, and they threw it in.
Oh, sweet.
And then this time, I threw it out again, and someone else commented on it and was like, let's do it.
Right, and I saw his recent post that he might do another one. I totally told him I would offer to help. I would pitch in for like his giveaways. I'm all about this, man. It brings the community together up there, and I'm happy to be a part of it from Tucson.
No, yeah, it's awesome, especially what he does, and also just the supplies and tackle and stuff that he offers to everyone, which you can't really get at stores besides online.
Right, the hog seekers he gave away were amazing, man.
Oh yeah, those are some pretty good rods.
I just got my first one, and I fished with it on the tournament, man. It's unlike any other medium heavy that I've fished with. It's really nice.
We'll see. So I guess that's one thing that we could talk about. Gear setup. What do you get? What do you run?
I do a Santee rig on one with the Whisker Seeker fluke or whatever they call it.
Oh, the little spook.
And then, yes, spook. That's what it is. Spook. Yes, sir. And then I do like a regular Carolina rig with my other pole.
Okay. And then
I do like a 10-aught, depending on where I'm fishing, honestly. Because there's some smaller lakes down here in Tucson. I'll throw a little 4-aught or whatever circle hook.
Oh, nice.
I'm a circle hook guy. Unless I'm fishing a bobber, then I'm going with a J.
And then rod and reel setup. I heard you say
I've got
a hog seeker.
I've got the hog seeker medium heavy fast action with the Okuma cold water on it with the line counter.
Oh, nice.
I've got two of those, and I've had great luck with them so far. They've done me very well.
Cool. No, yeah, it's like for me, I've been looking for a different rod lately. Currently, I use just an ugly stick, honestly.
Hey, you'll never go wrong. I will never bash on ugly sticks. Since I was a youngster,
Exactly.
I've used the ugly sticks.
Yeah, it's like same here. It's like since I was a kid, I've always known ugly sticks is pretty good rods, and now I'm using
I've never had one break.
Exactly. Now I'm using one that has a conventional caster on it, so it works pretty good. It's brought in that 6-pounder that I caught over the tournament.
What'd you place in the tournament?
It was like 20th, I think.
Oh, no way, bro. I did pretty well for not fishing the waters up there and never being in the area. I found a random spot that I fished. I fished there all night. I caught 3, and I placed 12th.
Yeah, that's not bad. No, I ended up moving around because, like, I was up there actually probably close by you. You were up there by Mitri, you know?
Yes, sir. I was. I was right outside of Mitri, and it was probably a 2 foot section that I could cast in between the two leaves.
That's how it is up there. If you're doing a lot of the shore fishing, right there where it has actually like the flow of it, where it kind of runs out more towards the Colorado.
Yes, sir.
That little area, I believe it's called like Betty's Kitchen, but it's also part of Mitri.
So I want to say I was northeast of that.
Yeah.
Or sorry, southeast of that on the Colorado.
Yeah, somewhere right in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the area too well, and I didn't want to go over to the California side because I didn't want to buy another fishing license for the 2 days. But
Well, so right there, there's spots that are Indian Reds that are close by right there.
really, do you need a permit to fish on them though?
Yeah, you need to actually get a permit from the Indian Reservation, and they're only open Monday through Friday,
Gotcha.
8 to 5, I believe.
And from what I'm understanding, if you're on a boat in the Colorado, they don't really mess with you on your Arizona California license because it literally splits the river in some spots.
Correct. Yes. But yeah, I was up there for a bit right there on one of the canals right there behind Mitri to the east of it.
Really? Yeah, you were right around the corner from me.
Exactly. I was there, and then I wasn't getting anything, so I was like, I'll pack it up and move to a different spot. And I moved to a different spot, and that's when I hooked up to a pretty good sized channel cat, and then he snapped my line.
Oh, man, gotta love it, right?
Yep. I was so pissed. And then, like, maybe less than 5 minutes after that, that's when I hooked up to that little 6-pound flathead.
Yeah, I caught a 3-pounder whenever I was fishing for bluegill. So when you come in, like Mitri Lake, there's that little waterfall area in the very beginning of Mitri Lake, and then there's an outflow.
Yes.
Right there, I was just fishing for bluegill, and I got a 3-pound flathead. I was like, what happened? Of course, when you're least expecting it, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah, right there.
So
they hit on a lot of the different little things, like the worms and stuff like that right there.
Yeah, it was baby worm, nothing crazy. And I totally slayed bluegill right there, too.
No, yeah, they come in pretty heavy right there, and they're decent size, too.
Are you? You're not going to be fishing the tournament this weekend?
This weekend, no. We have family coming over, so it's like I'm not. I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I want to spend time with family.
I got invited to go fish with Joseph and Jeremy on a boat this weekend.
And say, yeah, Jeremy's a cool dude.
Yeah, I've been talking with him on the phone. He seems really, really cool.
Yeah, really cool. I did a podcast with him as well. He does a lot of abandoned mine exploration.
Really?
Yes. Scares the crap out of me with some of the stuff that he does. Crazy guy.
Yeah, I'm happy to meet him this weekend. He seemed really cool to invite me on his boat and everything. I appreciate that. Because I was just going to go up there and fish the bank again and give it my all.
Mm-hmm. No, you have a little bit better opportunity on the boat, that's for sure.
That's what he was saying, too. He said he's had a couple people win some tournaments on his boat. So
Yes, that is for sure. So, you're starting up a YouTube channel. I seen like some of your older videos and stuff that looks like you did some like herping, reptile collecting kind of thing.
yes, sir. I'm super into reptiles. I have a few rattlesnakes myself.
Oh, nice.
And I do tarantulas, but that was 4 or 5 years ago. I started getting into YouTube, and then job got crazy, and now I'm just going head in, man. I'm gonna give it everything I have right now. So,
Oh, that's cool.
and my channel is called Outdoor Certified. I kind of
plug away.
I kind of leached my name off of River Certified and Outdoor Boys. So I love them two guys. They're amazing, and I'm actually gonna do a charter with Spencer here in the next few months because I'm going out to Texas and I'm going to make my way to Iowa.
Oh, nice.
So that'll make for some good content.
Oh, for sure. No, yeah, it's like my podcast is all hooked up to YouTube, so it's like it does a video, an audio version on there. So it's like
Cool. You'll share it with me for my channel?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Sweet. I appreciate it.
But yeah, it does the whole thing. It sets it up by itself. It's pretty awesome, honestly.
We might have to get together and you can give me some tips sometime.
Oh, no, yeah, definitely. It's depending on how you want to record, you can choose from all sorts of different things. I honestly first started out just recording honestly off my phone. That's how my first couple podcasts were, just iPhone, AirPods in, and just recording like that while I was driving for work.
That's really cool, man. And then you got used to it, got to the hang of it and everything.
Well, it's like I used to do pest control in California.
Okay.
And I had sometimes between stops about an hour to 2 hours drive time. So I was just like, well,
okay, so what else are you supposed to do?
Exactly. So I was like, just start talking to myself.
Right. I think that's my biggest thing on videoing is trying to speak to the camera the whole time. And honestly, trying not to cuss is very hard. Because I'm a construction worker. I do construction. I'm a foreman for an architectural sheet metal company.
Oh, no, and I know what you mean.
You know construction sites, man. It's a different story.
Yep. Swearing like a sailor.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, other than that, so fishing wise, what are your favorite species to catch besides catfish?
I used to amateur professionally bass fish in Texas for Texas Tournament Zone. I had a 21-foot Ranger that my partner co-signed on, and I got in bad times and just kind of ruined my life a little bit out there, and I had to get away, or I would have been a lot further in bass fishing.
Oh, man.
I used to bass fish like crazy. My record's a 9.7, and it was off top water. So we weighed in at a tournament, and they allowed the guy to weigh in late, and he took big bass from me and first place from me. It was crazy. One of my tournaments. Yeah. I was like, dang it.
That sucks. It's like, really? Let him weigh in late?
Right. And I'm like, there's rules to this, guys. Yeah. There's rules for a reason.
Okay, so besides catfish, bass, do you like the small little panfish to catch? Good-sized bluegills?
Love it. It's for pound, there's nothing a harder fighting fish than a bluegill.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
And if they made 5-10-pound bluegills, I would probably only fish for bluegill.
Well, there's some little slabs that you can get out there that are like in the 3-pounder range. It's almost like state records usually.
So Patagonia, I was out fishing Patagonia about a month ago, and we were bait fishing for flatheads, and my buddy caught a 2-pound 1 ounce bluegill, and the lake record's 2 pounds 3 ounces. So he almost beat the lake record.
He was up there
for bluegill. Yeah, it was the biggest bluegill I've ever seen personally.
That's pretty big. I know when I was little, I caught a decent sized one, but I don't know poundage wise or anything up. But that thing seemed big to me. So, bluegill.
And this summer, I am honestly going to try and go fish the Trinity River in Texas so I can fish for some alligator gar.
Oh, nice.
That would be amazing. My buddy did it last year, and he said it was the most fun he ever had. So, and I've got family out in Texas, and I got places to stay. So, and actually, my brother's getting married in the next 3 months, so it's a good excuse to go out there and do some good fishing.
Yeah. I heard Gar put up a pretty good fight.
Yeah, what his biggest issue was setting the hook on them. Because you got to set the hook like a madman on them things.
That's what I hear, because it's like that whole, basically their whole mouth thing, it's just like a whole bone almost. You have to try and set it through that.
Right.
Or at least get it hooked on their corner of their mouth somehow.
Right, and I'm a circle hook guy, and you're not using circle hook with gar. You got to use a J hook with them guys.
So, I guess this is one of those awkward pauses. I'm trying to think of what to talk about now.
It's all right. It's a podcast. Well, what do you do for a living?
So I currently work as a utility locator. I locate underground utilities. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like
And
Southwest.
fishing's just your hobby, and
Yep.
loved it since you were a youngster.
Oh yeah, always. And it's like out here, it seems like I've done more fishing here in Yuma than I had done while I lived in California.
Yeah, and there's some good fishing in California.
The only thing though, it's like living here now, fishing spots are only like 5 to 10 minutes away. California, I had to drive at least like 30 minutes to an hour or more.
Oh yeah, where I live, it's an hour and a half easily to the closest lake.
Oh dang.
And my drive to Yuma is like right at 3.5 hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right. My work.
But for fishing, I'll do anything.
Yeah, my work office is actually out there in Tucson. So it's like
Really, what's your company?
ELM Utilities.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like what is it? They're in like 15, I think, different states, and basically they locate 3 utilities: so gas, electric, and communications.
We got a couple of those guys on my site right now.
Yep, just making sure no one hits stuff.
Yeah, because we're on site working, they're digging.
Yep. So, personal best flathead. What's the biggest one?
35.
Damn.
It's like 34.8. I'll say 34.8. And I caught it out of Patagonia.
Oh, nice.
I caught a 22-pound channel cat out of Patagonia, too. And this is back when I didn't used to catfish. It was back when I was a bass fisherman. And I didn't know there wasn't blues, really, in Arizona. So I was like, oh, it's a blue, throw it back. So don't even take it in to see if it's like record or nothing.
Yeah.
22-pound channel cat out of Patagonia. It's a small lake. And that's a big channel cat.
That is. No, I'm still waiting to catch a double-digit fish, honestly. It's like my biggest fish was an 8-pound flathead.
8-pounder.
Yep. That was my first flathead.
Yeah, at the tournament last weekend, I caught a 9.98.
Oh, nice.
I was like, damn, so close.
So, what's your, I guess, outlook on how you want to go with the whole YouTube channel? What's your total or your goal with it in general?
My goal is just to bring people to the light that Arizona fishing is more than actually what it seems like, honestly. And you can have a lot of fun in Arizona. Arizona has a lot of water to fish, and I don't know, I just really love fishing, and I want to show people what I do, and excuse me.
No, you're good. No, that's awesome with the whole YouTube thing. I'm slowly getting there, trying to do a little more video stuff here and there.
So what I've been looking up a lot of videos on how to do the best. You know, it's don't think about it, do it. Your first 100 videos aren't going to make money.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not too worried about making money. I mean, I've got a job. It is what it is, but I do eventually want to just go fish and YouTube for a living. How amazing would that be? And just fish.
Oh, no, yeah, that would be amazing.
So you just got to take it one step at a time.
Yeah. Have you ever watched the videos from, what's his name, The Fishing Magician?
The Fishing Magician? No, I have not.
Check him out.
I'm actually going to write it down.
Yeah, The Fishing Magician, I think 2.0 or something like that.
Does he fish for all species or just...
Basically, he fishes for all.
that's awesome.
But he basically, that's his job. That's all he does 24/7. Fish.
There is one fish I've always wanted to catch, and catch and cook is a walleye. Where is there walleye in Arizona?
Not that I
Up,
know of, unless it's up north somewhere.
that's what I was thinking. Maybe up north, Lake Powell or something that
Maybe
leads into Utah.
that, or you connect with Chris from Muddy River, because I heard that he was it Joe, I think, had caught a walleye one time by accident.
Well, isn't he out of New Mexico?
Yeah, he's out of New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not too far away. I think it's like it's 6 hours from here, from where I'm at.
It's about
So it might be
two and a
about
half, 3 hours from where I'm at.
probably then, yeah.
Muddy River Catfishing, one of the first YouTube channels I've ever watched with catfishing.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. It was very interesting talking to him, and just like the stuff that he had to talk about and just like explain of why he created the whole brand and guiding service and whatnot.
Oh, he does guide now?
Yeah, he does guiding
Cool.
services. Oh yeah,
Okay.
that's Joe had recently went on a trip with him. I don't know
Oh,
if you've seen
sweet.
his videos or not. That with it.
I haven't recently. I've not. The latest videos I've seen from him were like 4 years ago or something.
Well, yeah,
Did he just like stop YouTubing?
No, he's been doing them pretty consistently.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he recorded the videos and stuff when Joe and his son went out.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
But I don't think he does like videos every single trip. He only does them every once in a while.
Right. And he catches some slabs.
Oh yeah.
I know. Can you believe that 54 pounder Joseph caught
I know.
on a flopper? I'm like, what, dude? That's crazy.
Yeah, Joe has his spots that are that hold some fish.
Which is cool, man. That's I want to get to know. You know, my goal this summer is to travel all over Arizona and do some catfishing. In 2 weeks, I'm going to Bartlett. I'm going to go do some fishing in Bartlett because
And say,
state record came out of Bartlett.
is it going to be open? Because I heard that there's been, or is that a different lake? Because like a fire that's up there.
Oh, is that fire at Bartlett? See, I've heard about the fire. I didn't know it was exactly at Bartlett or
I don't.
not.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was at Bartlett or what's another lake up there. Is it Roosevelt?
Roosevelt's a little bit east of Bartlett.
It's one of the two.
Yeah, because Roosevelt flows into Apache, which flows into Canyon and Saguaro, or vice versa, like that.
Yeah,
I mean, Bartlett's a little west of Phoenix. And what is his name that caught the state record, the heaviest fish ever caught in Arizona? It was like 73 pounds or something like that,
it was like
flathead out of Bartlett.
76.
76, you're right. Yep, 76 out of Bartlett. And I don't know, shout out to TD's Fishing, because he's a new YouTuber I've just recently started watching, because that dude catches some insane fish and doesn't get enough views for what he does. Insane fish that dude catches. And there's a lot of tournaments up on Bartlett, too, that I want to get into.
That's what I hear, yeah.
I've always wanted to start my own catfish tournament. Until I heard about 928 boys, I'm like, that's crazy. I didn't even know there was catfish tournaments in Arizona until them guys.
As far as I know, the ones from the Yuma Valley Rod and Gun Club and then the 928, those are the only two that I know of. Besides, like, catfish noodling tournaments and stuff like that are more back east.
And I am not doing that. I'm not sticking my hand in a hole underwater.
Yeah, waiting for it to get bit, yeah.
Yeah. What if you stick your hand in there and there's like a 60, 70 pound snapping turtle?
I was about to say that. It's like that. Or what if there's like an alligator in there too?
Yeah, no, I'm good on all that. I'll just use my rod and reel.
It's like, yeah, maybe do it just for the experience. But then I'm like, it seems kind of sketchy.
Yeah. Who's some of the YouTube fishers you watch?
So lately, it's been Fishing Magician, Chris for Muddy River, and then also there's another guy that he fishes out of Phoenix. I think his name's Jeffrey Lewis with Real Arizona Fishing or something like that, or Arizona
Yeah,
Real.
I actually saw him come across mine. I watched a couple of his. He's pretty cool. A smaller channel, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I like him.
yeah, it's pretty cool. He has like interesting ways, the techniques of even a simple setup too that he uses too. Zebco,
Right.
I think the Zebco 888, I think. Spincast.
The originals, though.
Yeah. And they work for him, so it's just like anything goes, really.
You can have all this fancy gear and all this fancy stuff. It don't make you catch more fish. I promise you that.
Yeah.
You gotta have experience on the area and knowledge of the area. Honestly, you have to have a knowledge of how catfish work and their
Yes.
biology. Honestly, how the waters turn, like the thermocline.
Yes.
Thermocline, how it changes during summer and winter. What the moon phases do. There's a lot more to fishing that people don't understand.
You know, I've realized that over the last few months of fishing that like the water temp and whatnot. Oh, excuse me. The water temp and whatnot. It's just like there's some days or weekends I'll go out and it's a cooler weekend. I'm like, okay, let's see if anything bites. It's dead. Nothing. Hotter weekend, go out, enjoy the mosquito bites and whatnot, but the fish are biting.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my last video, but man, I got destroyed by mosquitoes.
Oh, I know. I was getting eaten alive too until the thermocell started kicking in.
Yeah, I know. So I will never downgrade the citronella bracelet. So I had a citronella bracelet on, and I have my thermocell going. Man, greatest things ever by far.
So there's another local guy out here that does. He makes bass baits, lures, and stuff like that.
Okay.
CNC baits. You might want to give him a look just to see if you're going to use any bass baits and stuff. I did a podcast with him as well. He gave me a free bag of his custom worm that he calls a ball drop worm.
Okay. What is drop shot? Is it a Texas rig?
I don't know how to describe it, but it is. So you use like I guess a weighted head for it,
Yes, sir.
and the tail floats on that worm.
Really? So it's just on the bottom moving around?
Mm-hmm. So
Jig it a little bit. Oh,
exactly. So it's like a heavy head with the tail that floats.
That's awesome. That's really good. It keeps it off the bottom because, fish, their eyes are on their head. They don't look down to feed. Fish look up to feed,
No, yeah.
which is awesome about the Santee rig. You got the float on one side, which helps pick your cut bait up, and it keeps it above the flathead's eyes.
Yeah.
I've always fished on the bottom. Everyone that catfishes, they just go out there and throw a rod in the water. It's always on the bottom.
Yeah.
That's why they're like, oh, I don't catch fish. You got to raise your bait up a little bit.
Well, and then like other people, it's like not just flathead fishing just for like channel cats. Channel cats, they don't seem to eat like that as much. They seem to more smell and kind of feel, it seems like. And that's when
That's
like,
what those whiskers are for.
Yeah, the whiskers and then like the stinky baits.
I've never caught a catfish off liver.
I can agree with you on that. I've never done that as well.
Never. I could see my buddies catching fish off hot dogs, liver. I'm like, I don't know how you guys are doing.
Well, I've been outfished by a little kid before that. We're sitting there fishing for whatever was biting, and some little kid comes up with a little piece of hot dog on a small little hook, throws it, and catches a fish right in front of us. I'm like, what the hell?
It's like, this is how it's done, boys.
Yeah, basically.
I love it though. That's another reason why I catch and release as well, because that kid has a chance to catch that 30, or you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, someone else has a chance to catch that big fish.
Oh,
I'm not a
so
catch and cook kind of guy unless if it's like 3-4 pounds. Never a flathead. Only a channel cat. Channel cats tastes better in my opinion.
I've never eaten a flathead before, but like how you say, yeah, channel cats, they tend to taste better. But with those, like for me, a 4 pound channel is like the limit. 4 or 5 pounds, just because it seems like
Yep.
bigger than that. They're,
That and it takes years for a catfish to grow.
Oh, yeah.
Catfish can be 35 pounds. That catfish is probably 20 years old, 15, 20 years old.
Yeah. I believe it.
And now it's just you don't catch 60, 70, 80 pound flatheads anymore. They're just crazy. We got to take care of the waters. We got to start taking care of the waters. People cleaning up their trash because it's just eating away at our waters. It's doing worse for the bigger fish.
Yep.
Catch and release. I preach on catch and release, especially if it's anything above 10 pounds in my eyes. If it's above 10 pounds, please release it.
I agree with you on that for sure. Did you see that other post on the 928 thing of the cleanup that's going to happen?
I did. If I was anywhere closer, I would be there.
Yeah, it's something that I'm kind of excited about. At least see that place get cleaned up a bit. Because since I've lived out here, that place has been pretty trashed.
And it's called Crap Creek.
It's okay to cuss on here.
Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to get better at it too for my YouTube videos.
No, I have it labeled on my thing to where it's explicit content.
Okay.
So it's okay if you say a few words.
So Shit Creek.
Yep. Shit Creek.
Yeah, I'm learning. I've learned a lot since the first time I was in Yuma. That was the first time I've ever been to Yuma, and it's really cool.
Well, Shit Creek surprisingly produces flatheads too, right there.
Really? So what does that lead off of? Is that led off to Colorado itself? Is it south of Yuma,
So,
east of Yuma? I don't
It's
know
actually
exactly
north
where it's
of Yuma, or it's
at. Okay.
north of like the city right there. But it's where the Colorado is going more south, and then the Gila River meets into it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because we got a river right up the road from me called the Gila River, too.
It's honestly continuation of that.
Really?
Yeah,
It's something I want to learn, all the rivers and stuff, because I've always fished lakes my entire life. I've never fished rivers. I don't know much about current. Whenever Joseph was like, dude, you need like 8-ounce, 6-ounce weights, I was like, what?
Yeah, some of the
I usually
currents,
fish with 1-2 ounce weights.
Yeah. No, that's how I started out with the 2.5 bank sinkers,
Yep.
and those were working good for me. But I noticed my bait right away would get carried right to the edge, and it's like, well, I didn't really want it right there. I wanted it out a little bit farther. So then I ended up going and getting, I think I bought some 4s from him, 6s and 8s. And the 8s work pretty well where wherever they get dropped, they're not moving.
Right, especially with the size of the bait you're using.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another reason why people don't catch monster 70, 80-pound flatheads, because they're out there in the Colorado River. I know they're out there. 70, 80-pounders are out there, if not 100-pounders.
Whoa.
They're not using 5 to 10-pound baits. That 70, 80-pounders eating 5 to 10-pound baits.
True.
They're not eating half-pound bluegill,
So there was this guy, I've like watching YouTube videos and stuff. I don't remember the guy's name for his channel, but he threw out a 2-pound carp. 2-pound carp, and I think he caught like either a 20 or 30-pounder.
See, yeah, exactly. Their mouths are so massive. So the 10-pounder I caught at the tournament, he swallowed my hook to his belly.
Oh.
And I had a 10-aught on, and So I had my entire arm down his stomach because I don't want to hurt him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
get the hook out. I don't want to cut the line. And I ended up getting the hook out. But that just goes to show a 10-pounder can eat pound bluegill.
Mm-hmm.
Their mouths are so big and so wide. People underestimate what these fish can eat.
Well, so like the one that I won the thing off last year, the little one, it was a 1 point, it was probably a 1 pound flathead. And
That's adorable.
it it swallowed probably like a 2 or 3 ounce tilapia.
Really? You can
It was-
catch tilapia up there?
Yeah, well, there's lots of them out here in some of the little like ag ditches and stuff like that.
Really? I eat tilapia.
Well, so that same day of that tournament, the morning of, I went out to go catch bait, and I caught quite a few tilapia and bluegill, some carp, just from a cast net, a throw net.
Right.
And there was a spot where I threw it, and I brought up a 4.7 pound tilapia in the cast net.
That is too cool, man.
That sucker was
I might have ate him. I might have ate him.
Oh,
They say it's a
filleted up.
man-made fish,
Yeah.
which I don't understand the logic behind it, how you make a fish, but I don't know that. But they say it's a man-made fish; it's not natural. But
I filleted
I
that
think
fish
it's
up.
delicious. Yeah. See,
But yeah, then it's like this last weekend, me and my wife, we went out and we went to that same little ditch that I caught those fish. The ditch was dried up. They closed it up, so they didn't release water out of there anymore.
crap.
Yeah, I was just like, damn, I wanted to catch some more bait fish right here. But
Yeah, I'll be up there Friday morning. I'm gonna leave here around 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'll be up there, and I'm gonna bait fish before, because they're leaving sometime Saturday morning. I'm gonna go help Jeremy load the boat
oh,
and
nice.
everything, but I'm gonna go out there and bait fish before, because I called off work and everything. It's just a 3.5 hour drive, and I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna relax, so I don't have to wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning to get there by 7 a.m. You know what
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Makes sense.
But I'm pretty excited about it. And how cool would it be to beat Joseph's record next to it? No.
That would be something if you beat them all on the boat like that.
Get on the big board, right?
That's one thing that I need to still sign up for is his big board.
You live there, bro. There's no excuse.
I know. It's just like I've been putting
You
it
just
off.
got to do it, man. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
And I've learned that in the past year, because I drove to Florida to go do some fishing, and I was there for 3 months, and I got a little side job and everything. I was out there just in Florida. You can literally walk a half a mile, be in a different pond. Walk a quarter mile, be in a different pond. Walk an eighth of a mile, be in another pond. It's crazy out there.
Some insane
I
fish
caught
out there,
some
though,
crazy bass out there. Did some deep sea fishing. I caught my first shark. It's amazing out there. If there's one other place in the world I'd live, it'd be Florida. Just because of the fishing.
too. Yeah, I believe it. Now, yeah, I've been out to Florida once, and that was for my wife and I, our honeymoon. We went out there and did the whole sightseeing and stuff. And it was nice, honestly.
When I was there, we got hit by that Category 4 hurricane.
Oh, shoot.
It was some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen. Coming from Arizona, we don't have any natural disasters except for fire.
That and monsoons every now and then. Those
But
are tolerable.
You ever seen a palm tree bend sideways? It just blew my mind. It was 110-mile-an-hour wind. I was like, what? This is nuts. Because I was in Orlando.
Oh, jeez.
It was nuts because it hit Fort Myers at a Category 5 and died as soon as it hit.
That's strong.
I love Florida, and I'm a reptile guy. So
Oh,
there's
all the
reptiles everywhere in
iguanas and
Florida.
lizards are everywhere.
Everywhere there.
I'm surprised out here though that there's like I didn't really know what they were until recently, but the desert iguanas out here,
Yeah, they're actually invasive species too.
I've seen those everywhere walking around painting lines basically.
And they get big.
Yeah, some of them are pretty large that I've seen.
Yeah, reptiles are my passion, and fishing is my passion. Anything outdoors, I love. We got to be more in touch with Earth, in my opinion.
Yep. One other area, I know it's like we're kind of like bouncing around everything, but Blythe. Have you ever fished up there near Blythe?
Blythe? No, I have
Or
not.
like
I know where you're
Parker,
talking about, though.
Parker area?
Parker. No, I have not. All my buddies tell me to go fish there too.
See, I've gone up there a few times, but it's like I didn't really know what I was doing. I had the whole goldfish and whatnot, and was trying nothing. And then, like, there's other times that I've gone up there camping just with family using stink bait and caught some nice little channel cats and stuff. But it's like we were trying to target big catfish with the goldfish, man, nothing.
Yeah, I got some goldfish and salties from Hideaway, and not a single one of my salty got bit. Not a single one of my goldfish got bit. Every fish I caught was off bluegill.
That's, I think, their natural bait that they go for out here.
Yep. And salty is just a glorified carp, right?
Basically.
Okay, because that was wondering. I was like, "What? It looks like a carp, but mixed between a goldfish a little bit." I'm like, "What are these things?"
Well, carp basically are goldfish. They're just a tan color.
Yeah. Koi, just
Same thing.
smaller koi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know it's like some of the carp and stuff that I've caught just with the throw net, they look like goldfish. And it's just like they're palm sized and it looks like a goldfish, but just tan.
Yeah, a guy just caught a lake record goldfish somewhere in the east country. It was 3 pounds, like 8-ounce goldfish.
Jeez.
It was a monster. I was like, "That's crazy."
So out in California, in Big Bear,
Uh huh.
there's a guy that I follow on Facebook. His name's Andrew Mack. He does like a fishing report.
Okay.
He's always going up there to Big Bear to bowfish, and he bowfishes carp because they're invasive there in Big Bear Lake.
Same with here.
So they basically shoot as many as they can, take them out, throw them into a dumpster, and then that dumpster they use it as fertilizer afterwards. They get it all mulched up and then do stuff with it that way.
That's really cool that they're reusing it, honestly.
But
I'm sorry, go ahead.
he's shot a few goldfish though out of there like that.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. I got a buddy that bowfishes. And yeah, carp, honestly, I've eaten carp, and if you prepare it the right way, it's not a bad fish to eat. Yeah, it's super bony, but if you boil the bones down from what the guy did, it tasted fine to me.
Well,
It's actually a delicacy in different countries.
Yes, I've heard a lot of people will eat it. Some people just don't like the taste of it because of it having so many bones too. It's just like just recently I seen a guy do carp ribs where he basically cuts each rib or they were carp fries is what he called them. He cuts each rib out basically and makes a little fry basically, and you just basically suck the meat right off the bone.
Huh. That is cool. That's good to know. My favorite fish to eat is probably a catfish, honestly. Catfish nuggets, the whole river certified way. The Frank's Red Hot with the fish batter, the Whisker Seeker fish batter, by far the best that I've had, next to the Louisiana fish batter. But it's so good. Catfish nuggets, nothing better.
Yep, I agree.
Next to like crappie, of course. It's hard to beat crappie, white flaky. But I won't fish batter a crappie. I'll probably cook it in a pan with some oil.
I've actually never caught a crappie before. I've seen them. They have them out here at Mitri. People catch them every now and then, but I've never caught one.
I actually held Lake Travis record in Texas for crappie. It was 19 inches and 6 pounds.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the biggest, baddest crappie. I released him, of course. Something that big, you don't just stray away from. You know, you release because it's got the good genes.
Yeah.
You got to get those good genes back in the lake.
So there was.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to mention something earlier about out here, right there in the Laguna Dam area. I believe Fish and Game had caught in one of their nets was a 79-pound flathead one year.
79. Oh my gosh.
So that beats that state record.
But it wasn't rod and reel.
Yeah, for rod and reel. But that was caught by Fish and Game, so it's just like, it don't count.
And like, what's his name said at the pre-meeting? He works for Fish and Game.
Oh, yeah, David Kuhn?
Yeah. And he said he tagged a flathead, and it went how many miles through, what, 3 different dams?
I think it was like 30 miles or something.
Yeah, 3 different dams that flathead made it through. That's crazy to think of.
Yeah. They
and then you catch them that have been there for 5 years in the same spot.
Yeah. Hasn't moved. I guess it's like the different way that the fish spawn, or just, I guess if they get territorial, maybe kicks one out and he's like, okay, I gotta find a new spot.
Yep. And he just keeps getting kicking out, so he just keeps getting moved.
Yeah. It's crazy, like some of the fish that you see people catch that are all battle scarred up from spawning.
Yeah.
Another awkward pause I'm trying to figure out.
So what do you like fishing for other than catfish?
Other than catfish, I like bluegill, anything that really bites. Trout, I really enjoy trout fishing, honestly.
In the winter, that's what we fish for here in Arizona. We're trout fishermen in the winter.
And that was one thing that I was used to in California, was fishing for trout. Out here, it's a little different. It seems like, just because the water still kind of stays a little too warm for them, out here in Yuma at least.
Oh, yeah, here too. They got to stock them like crazy. They die off a lot.
Yeah. But I do want to...
Biggest trout you ever caught?
Biggest trout was probably 23 inches.
It's a good trout, man.
And that was off the Colorado, near like Willow. I think it's Willow Beach area. Just south of the Hoover Dam.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Me and my nephews, we did a trip up there, a kayak camping trip. My nephews and my cousin, we got dropped in right there at the bottom of the Hoover Dam, and we paddled 6-7 miles, I think. Found a spot to camp. The next morning, fished a little bit, and that's where I caught the trout, and then paddled another 5 miles, and they picked us up.
I love trout to eat. So that about a month ago when I was at Patagonia, right before it started getting super warm, me and my buddy limited out on trout the 3 days we were there, every day.
Oh, nice.
And as soon as the trout came out, I put it on the grill. The trout is up there with one of my favorite fish to eat.
Oh,
if you cook it right, the bones, they
pull right out, basically.
They pull right out. Yes, sir. Exactly.
No, I've seen like the difference between some of the trouts too, where you'll catch some that have white meat, then you'll catch some that have pink meat.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that depends on colder water, I want to say.
I heard it was that or whatever they're eating.
That makes sense. It does make sense.
Like I heard
because they're not a bottom feeder.
Yeah, they're not a bottom feeder.
They're eating live baits.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's like they're eating like little crustacean things, kind of tiny shrimps that might be freshwater shrimps, and that's what's causing them to be pink. Or
Crawfish,
yeah,
maybe crawfish. I guarantee they do have teeth.
yeah. Well, I've been bit by a trout before. It's not fun. Yeah, because we used to fish an area in what is near Lake Isabella in California, and there's the Kern River that runs right into the lake, and we used to fish that north part of the lake, which was the river up there, and it's nothing but rainbow trout, and
Yeah, rainbow.
some brown trout up there too.
So in what is it? Is it Lake Powell? There's lake trout, and I've always wanted to fish for lake trout because they get big,
That's what I heard too. Yeah.
like 40 pounds big. And trout's just delicious to me.
Oh no, yeah.
That's an eating fish in my eyes.
No, yeah. It's like anytime I've caught trout, it's like, yep, keep them. We'll cook those up. Same with bluegill. Sometimes it's like I'll enjoy a pan-fried bluegill.
Ain't nothing wrong. That's one of the best fish I've eaten too. Bass is really good because it's white, flaky meat.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to get my girlfriend onto it. She's like, I don't know about bass, but then she eats a catfish, and she's like, okay, I'm done with the catfish. Probably because it was fried and battered.
No, my wife,
You can't go wrong with that.
she's convinced that there's no fish here in Yuma because anytime that I've taken her out fishing, we don't catch anything. But then I go out by myself and I catch something. She's like, you must be stopping at the store and catching those fish that way.
That's funny.
But yeah, just I guess trout. I want to go up towards like the what is it, Salt River or the Verde River.
I've fished a lot of the Salt River, like towards the diversion dam next to Roosevelt, all that. There's big channel cat in that river.
Well, see,
Big
I
channel cat.
want to catch some trout when it's more trout season for them.
Right.
I want to test out the whole flies and whatnot and try and catch them like that.
I've never fly fished in my life.
Well, see, I've never fly fished either, but I've heard there's ways to kind of fly fish with a spinning rod.
Okay.
Where you get like one of those bobbers that you can kind of fill halfway with water.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you get one of those, and I guess you rig it up just where the fly's on the end of that, maybe about a foot or so, and it basically floats it along for them.
It's topwater fishing. What's better
Yeah.
than topwater fishing? Other than I love bobber fishing too, but it's not as big a success as bottom fishing.
Yeah.
Never is. Which I am going to be fishing a bobber this weekend. I'm going to start with a bobber, a slide bobber, and then I'm going to have a three-way on with my Santee rig. Because in Arizona, you can only have 2 rods.
Yeah.
I see all these guys on YouTube out east, and I'm like, you guys can have 10, 12 rods. I'm like, no wonder you guys catch so many fish.
Well, see, so that's odd because it's like I see there's a guy from Phoenix area that I follow on TikTok, and whenever I see him go out on his boat, he has like 4 or 5 rods on there. But it's like I don't know if he ever has other people with him or not, but they're all out.
Better be careful with it. Game and fish don't mess around.
Oh no, yeah, they don't.
Which game and fish, I have the utmost respect for because they're helping the animals in our state. And I've game and fish. Man, I've gotten a bunch of run-ins with game and fish. They were all over when we were fishing that tournament the weekend before. I seen 5, 6 different trucks of game and fish at Entry Lake.
I don't think I wasn't out. I didn't go out there until probably like 6 or 7.
Yeah, I came up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and got there by like 8. And just bluegill fish the whole time, really. I have so much fun bluegill fishing.
Oh no, yeah.
I could be okay all day just fishing for bluegill and be fine.
So funny thing was that spot up there where I was at up there by Mitri. There was these two guys that had pulled up right next to me fishing this another little spot that was like less than 50 feet away from me. I went over there to go ask them a question because I had forgot my phone charger. My phone was at like 14%. I was like, crap, how am I going to record a dang video if I catch a fish?
Right.
And I went over there and asked them if they had a charger I could use. And they're like, nope, we only have something for the new iPhone 15. So it wouldn't work. I was like, oh, man. Okay, well. And then I just ended up just sitting there just talking to them for a bit. And I guess they had came from San Luis and were fishing basically almost all day. This was their last spot here in Yuma. And they hadn't caught anything all day. I was like, man. Hey, do you guys want to try some live bait? And I gave them a small little bluegill. Probably within 20 minutes that they were there, he pulled up a small flathead.
Of course, but at least what's cool though is they got to catch a fish.
Oh no, yeah, it's like
I don't care if anyone outfishes me as long as somebody's having fun.
It made my day that they caught something. It made my day that they caught something for how long they were working basically at trying to catch something, and then for that, it's like he pulled it up. He pulled out. It was like at least a 3-pound flathead, and I was like, dang, that's awesome.
And man, them small ones have some pretty colors.
Yeah. No, that one was like it was like a marbled yellow, basically.
Yeah. 3-pounder I caught was like the Arizona tan, but dark and patches. I was like, oh, it's so pretty. I was going to eat him, but then I was like, dude, you're too pretty. I'm going to let you go.
I think I seen that one on your video. That was a pretty good video though, that you got there.
I appreciate that. I will get better. It takes time and practice, I'm sure, because I'm fresh to the editing and all that. So,
oh no, I'm right there with you. The fresh with the editing and whatnot. I posted a video the other day because I just picked up a bow for bow fishing. So I was in my backyard just shooting it at the target just to kind of get the feel for it.
Right.
Because I have a regular compound bow, but this is a recurve, so it's a little different. So it's like all my strength is being put on that versus the compound that has a let off.
Yeah, I shoot a recurve.
And the recurve is just like, oh man, this is a little different. 45 pounds versus the 70-pound compound.
Right, it's a completely different story, man. Though,
yeah.
Because I shoot a 45-pound recurve as well. And that's the first bow I ever learned to shoot on. And this winter, I'm putting in for deer, so.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna try and shoot my first deer with a recurve.
Nice.
I want to go elk hunting. God.
Oh, that's one of my things that I want to do as well. Is go do some elk hunting. Just to fill a freezer, though. Doesn't have to be anything that's worth. Yeah, it's okay if it's a decent trophy or whatnot, but if it's not, it's just a freezer filler. That's even perfect, really.
Absolutely. Because I just actually had some elk meat yesterday. My boss at work brought me some elk meat. He's like, here, try this steak. Tricking me. I was like, dude, this is the most tender steak I've ever had. Where did you get this? He's like, no, that was elk meat. I was like, no wonder, man. I was like, it was so good.
The taste is different, though, too. It's more earthy, natural tasting, and it's really good, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm more of a gamey kind of guy taste, too. I mean, they're not crazy gamey, but they're natural. It's definitely a different flavor than what we're used to.
Well, it's like I've had like a grass-fed beef before that it was just nothing but grass-fed, and that meat definitely did taste different versus like store-bought.
Right. We're so accustomed to the store-bought. We're like, why does this taste weird?
Yeah.
But it's actually natural and better.
Yeah. So I guess that's another thing then, since we brought it up, hunting-wise. So you said you want to get elk, you're going to put in for deer. Have you actually gone out hunting before, or this would be your first?
I've scoped this. I've scoped with my buddy. I have a huge advocate hunter buddy. His name's Jeremiah Ramsey, and he knows everything about it. The guy you can throw a water bottle up in the air and he can stick it with his bow every time.
That's awesome.
And he's the one who taught me how to shoot a bow, and that's who he's gonna take me out and show me the ropes. So I want to get into that really well. I've been duck hunting, never got anything because I love duck. Duck is delicious. Not a lot of people like duck. Duck is delicious.
I don't think I've ever had duck.
Duck is real oily.
That's why
oily,
it's like an oily, greasy meat.
right? Which I like, and really gamey though too. But he has this like, I don't know, is the secret recipe is Worcestershire sauce.
Oh yeah, the Worcestershire sauce, or whatever it is, or some people call it wash your sister sauce.
Wash your sister sauce. You know? That and some vinegar and some what's that Chinese? God, what is that stuff called?
Well, like MSG.
No, it's the liquid, the Chinese that everybody puts on their Chinese food.
Is it like a hot sauce, the sriracha?
So not sriracha, but it's very vinegary. It's what is it called? Now I'm
Like soy sauce.
stumped. Soy sauce. That's what it's called. Soy sauce. And so he makes a mixture of all that with like garlic and everything. It soaks it for like 48 hours, and it comes out so delicious in his duck breast. I was like, this is some of the best meat I've had. Like up there with fish with me because I love fish. Anything that comes from the water, oysters, anything like that, I love.
What about dove?
Dove, I've had dove. Dove is really delicious to me, but you need 10 of them to get you full, you know?
Yeah. One ain't gonna cut
Quail is above dove for me, and I'm always out during dove and quail season. I've done a lot of quail and dove hunting.
Yeah, I'm excited for dove season this year. Last year I did the late season where there wasn't really much during the late season.
Slowing down, yeah.
Yeah. So this year I'm kind of a little more excited for it.
And that's also why I chose the name of my YouTube channel, Outdoor Certified, is because I'm gonna be doing herping, I'm gonna be doing hiking, I'm gonna be doing hunting, fishing, and right now I'm focused on fishing because it's fishing season, you know? Like I said in my video, when the Palo Verdes bloom, it's fishing season.
That sounds about right.
And for the people who don't know, a Palo Verde is a tree with a green trunk. It's a green tree.
Basically, the whole name comes out to green stick.
Yeah. Exactly what it is. Yes, sir.
But yeah, that night of the tournament, fish were biting like crazy. I was getting bites left and right.
I was too, but also the mosquitoes were biting.
Well, yeah, that. I was getting a lot of short bites though too.
I was too. I know I was. They would kill my bluegill.
Yeah, see, I had one where it was a short bite, and I felt him taking off with it, so I was okay, let me set the hook, brought my little fishy back up, and he had a big old long tear in him because of where he pulled on him.
Yep, and the ones I actually did set the hook in, well, circle hooks, I just reeled down. But I let them eat it. Just let them take it. I was like, no, because I was with my cousin. My cousin showed up out of nowhere. He's from Sierra Vista. And he's like, I'm coming up, bro. You said river fishing and catfishing, I'm coming. So he showed up, and that's how we were able to get to the Colorado because he brought his truck, and I'm in a car. So there's not really much places you can get to the Colorado where I was at with a car.
Yeah.
You got to have a four-wheel drive.
That's my next thing,
he showed
too.
up. Yeah, I know. That's my next thing, too. I'm going to trade my car for a Tundra. I want a Tundra so bad.
Yeah, I have a small little Ford Ranger. It's like, either I do a whole rebuild on it and just rebuild the front end and put a four-wheel drive in, or I just get something different.
It's the Ford fucking Ranger.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I definitely want like either a small little Tacoma 4-wheel drive or a Tundra as well.
Yeah, I've always wanted a Tacoma, but until the 2023 Tundras came out with not the crazy front end on them, and they're all four-wheel, they're good looking,
Yeah,
and I could pull a boat with it. A
True.
little easier than a Tacoma
true that.
because they're V8s. And I've been looking in flat bottom John boats, 14 footers. Nothing too crazy, just something I can get out on the river with, man.
Yeah.
You know?
That's like me. It's like I have a little 12-foot kayak, and that honestly, I haven't taken it out since I've lived out here in Yuma.
You ought to do it, bro. You ought to do it because who won the tournament? It was 61 pounds or something like that with 3 fish. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. But he was on a boat.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the other thing too. It's just like, well, I'm on a gosh dang kayak. I don't know if I want to go on the river with the kayak or if I'm going to do just backwaters.
That's true. I didn't think about current again either. I'm so used to lake fishing, man. I'm like, the whole river fishing is a new demon to me.
And that's like the other thing. It's like, well, should I just get a small boat then? Maybe like a little 10-foot John or something?
Right.
That could fit in the back of my
a little
truck.
trolling motor.
And it's like,
you
yeah,
know?
that could fit in the back of my truck just like that.
Because where I was fishing on the Colorado, there was 3 guys on that 12-foot John boat, probably with a little trolling motor, just putting up river. I'm like, that's all I need right there. Just putting up river, bass fishing. I was like, you guys are bass fishing in the Colorado? I don't know much about bass fish in the Colorado.
Oh no, that's why I said if you ever hit up that guy, his name's Carl Beach from C&C Baits. That's all he
I have it
really.
written down right here too.
Yeah, that's all he fishes really is for bass. But he's gotten a few flatheads out with his ball drop worm, and it's just like odd. It's like the heck, these flatheads are going after this early morning.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, because I caught my 3rd fish on the tournament. It was a 6-pounder, 4 o'clock in the morning. I was sleeping in the truck, and I look up I woke up out of nowhere just to look at the rods, and I had the Whisker Seeker LED light on my rod, and it's just bouncing. I'm like, well, there's a fish on that, and then reel it in, and 6-pound flathead. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Nice.
So that brought me up in the rankings. Almost made top 10. I'm pretty happy with myself out there.
Oh
honestly.
no, yeah. I like just honestly just getting out and fishing. That's what it is for me. It's
New
just like,
areas, yeah. New areas, learning new techniques.
yeah, it was one thing for sure. It's like I had to relearn how to fish out here because it was a totally different setup.
Absolutely what I did. I went straight out of my comfort zone out there.
And it's like once I started doing that, I was like, okay, this actually works. I'm catching fish now.
Right. I'm like, okay, so different techniques do work.
It's like
Don't
it's
stick
not,
with the same thing.
yeah, it's not the same thing everywhere.
Right.
But it's like a lot of that info though I had gotten was from Joseph when I had first did a podcast with him, and then I think I did a second one with him and another gentleman that lives out here. That they're just listing ways left and right of techniques that they used. This guy named Brandon, he used to fillet a bluegill like a tortilla, basically. Fillet it up and use it like that where it would flap. And he caught fish like that.
Flappers.
Yep, a flapper.
That's what Joseph taught me that one. A flapper. I'm like, what the heck is a flapper? It's where the sides of the body are flapping and you're hooked it. I'm like, I've always known flathead to be live bait kind of guys, you know?
No, but they go for cut bait.
Oh, they 100% do. And the gizzard shad I caught out there on the cast net, I was like, oh my God.
They're huge.
Caught 2-3 pound gizzard shad easily.
No, yeah, I'm surprised with the shad sizes out here too, though. They're large.
That was my first time ever throwing a cast net. I was like, and a random guy, I was like, are you fishing the 928 tournament this evening? He said, yeah, I am. I said, would you learn me how to throw a cast net? And sure enough, he taught me how to throw a cast net. And
I had to self-teach myself after watching a friend of mine that I go fishing with every now and then. Like, I watched him a few times. Okay. I went and bought myself one. I used it, and it's like I'm still no pro at it yet, but I can get a decent throw out of it and bring in a good haul.
oh, I'm definitely not a pro. It'll be in my next video. I'm gonna have a little mount or something that I can throw the cast net in slow motion. We'll see how it turns out.
Well, see, it's like I kind of want to get into doing a little more videos and stuff. I bought myself a phone chest mount, so I'm gonna try that out pretty soon.
Yeah, whenever I decided to go back into YouTube, I was like, you know what? I'm buying the best GoPro they have. I got the Hero 12,
Oh, nice.
and I just got the light that mounts on top of it and mounts that connect to the. I'm going in on it, man.
Oh, it's like
I'm gonna put everything.
I have a Hero 5, and it still works pretty good. So it's like I'm content with that for certain things, but it's like I'm always using my phone. It seems easier because I'm always editing on my phone. So I was like, yeah,
Right.
GoPro chest mount with a phone clip works perfect.
Yeah, I got a mount for a tripod for my phone, so I'm gonna have different angles on the
nice.
next one. So I'm gonna have my phone mounted on the tripod, and then I'm gonna have my chest mount. So I'm gonna switch back and forth. I'm getting better on editing. I'm working on it. You know, you can only get better.
Oh yeah. What is it that you use to edit with, or are you using just like the?
It's called CapCut.
Oh, you're using CapCut? Okay, that works. I use that
I
too.
am using CapCut.
I use
Yep.
that too.
I did a lot of YouTube research on how to YouTube. You know? And the best for beginners is CapCut. And you can do a lot of things with CapCut. I subscribed to the Pro and bought the Pro CapCut. And you can do a lot of things with it. I'm learning. But what I haven't learned is how to cut sections out of the middle of the video. To where, like, okay, it's stagnant right there in the middle of the video. So how do I cut that out? I still haven't figured that out.
I'm trying to think of if it lets you or not on there. So I've done it before, but I think I usually do it on my phone itself.
What do you use on your phone? You use CapCut on your phone?
Yeah.
I didn't know you can do that.
Yeah,
I use my laptop.
I use CapCut on my phone, but like because you have to upload it differently. So I guess, yeah, because videos that I take on my phone with the iPhone, I trim sections out that I don't need.
Yeah, see, I gotta learn how to do that because there's spots in the video that I'm like, I could have just cut that out.
Yeah, it's just like
Because I took like
yeah.
3-4 hours of video and I dropped it down to 40 minutes. But also, a bunch of research I've been doing on fishing videos on YouTube is the longer the video, the more that people watch, which is crazy. I choose longer videos in YouTube that are fishing because I want to see the whole spill myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the consumer, so I might as well look in the consumer's eyes.
Yeah. No, I do the same thing. It's like sometimes I think about with some of these podcasts too. It's like, I see more people, they only listen to like the short ones. And it's like the 15 to 20 minute ones. And it's like, oh, I could throw a few of those in there every now and then. And then I just do like some of these long ones that are like an hour long. That's like us.
I look for the 2-3 hour YouTube videos. Or, sorry, podcasts.
And it's
because journeys, like me driving to Yuma, for instance. I would listen to a 2 hour Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
instance.
No, it's like some of them that I've done. I've done like a 3-hour podcast before, and I had to split it into 2 different ones.
Yeah, I'm more into longer podcasts. And see, okay, here's something I don't know if people agree with, but YouTube Shorts, I don't like them.
They do kind of suck.
I don't like YouTube Shorts. YouTube is for longer videos, 15 to hour videos. That's what YouTube was originally based on, something you can watch instead of a TV show. If you want to watch a short, in my opinion, you should go to TikTok.
Yeah. Well, it's like how it was
That's
before
just in
when
my eyes.
Vine was still out. Before that got
I
canceled.
remember Vine. Yep. And don't get me wrong, I think I'm going to start doing TikToks. My buddies and everything, they're like, you should start making TikToks on how you tie your line, et cetera, like that, to get my name out.
See, I do a lot of things like that on TikTok as well. Well, when I release an episode, I'll post the thing.
What's your TikTok?
It's the same thing.
I'll subscribe.
Yeah, Two Side Outdoors.
Oh, it's the same thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
same thing. Same with Instagram.
Same with mine. My Instagram's the same too. But it has a lot of my animals on Instagram. This is before I got where I am now to outdoor certified. I used to be Tegu King because I used to breed tegus. I breed rattlesnakes. I breed spiders. I'm an animal guy, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like same here. It's like I have a bearded dragon.
You have a what?
A bearded dragon?
Oh, do you?
Yep.
Right on. My best friend of 22 years owns a reptile shop here in Tucson. It's called Cold Blooded Exotics.
That's cool. Yeah, so we've been going for about an hour and 17 minutes now.
You want to end it, brother? We're down.
No, unless we
Okay.
got more to talk about.
I'm all in. I really enjoy chatting with you, man.
That's why I enjoy these podcasts, just because it's like it gives me time to just talk about stuff that I like doing. Honestly.
Right, and get other people's outlook on things, man. You know.
Exactly. And it's like, so have you heard of that striker catfish bait?
Strike? No, sir, I have not.
So it's called a punch bait, where you dip a treble hook in it and you pull it out, and it's basically covered with all like the fibrous stuff that's in it, and like
It's not. It doesn't come in a bucket, does it?
It does.
Okay, I do know what you're talking about then.
And I guess they make it with like cattails and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
So I tried some of that stuff at first, and I was like, it wasn't working, because I guess I was trying too early in the season. The water was still pretty cold. Once it warmed up, tried it, first cast, pulled a 4-pound channel cat out. Second cast in, same thing, within 5 minutes, pulled another channel cat out. I was like, okay, cool, I'm set. Went home.
All right, new bait.
Yeah. Went home, basically. I was like, I'm done. That was my limit right there, 2 catfish. And they were both 4-pound catfish, so I was like, that's perfect. That's more than enough food right there.
Is it real stinky, too?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, the bait or the fish?
No, the bait.
The bait, yes, it was. It was
Okay.
garlic. It was garlic.
Garlic is funny. Fish like garlic, and garlic tastes good on fish when you cook it.
Yeah, very true. And then there was another time where I had went out fishing as well, and I took my dad, my nephew, and my brother-in-law, and I set up my dad's stuff for him and everything, casted it out, and I was setting the drag for him. And while I was setting the drag, thing's already biting. I'm like, the hell, I'm not even done setting it up, and I was about to hand it to him.
You hit it in its face.
Basically.
I love when that happens.
But yeah, then
You're like, all right, I'm going to set this rod in the rod holder. Oh, I'm getting it.
Yeah. It's like, this never happens. What's going on? But yeah, it's awesome when it's like you fish like that where you throw it in. It's like as soon as you throw it in, like you said, it hits them in the face and it's like, oh, food.
Yeah, there's a little urban lake here in Tucson called Silverbill.
I've heard of
And
that.
I swear, yeah, it's a awesome lake. It's beautiful. It's cool. It's usually packed. Don't get me wrong, but I've never been to that little lake. We call it a lake in Arizona. It's a pond. But I've never been there and not caught a channel cat. Or in the winter, they stock it with trout.
hmm Well, it's like out here we have a lake that's more of a pond, I guess, or some people call it a puddle, but it's called Fortuna Lake. It's Fortuna Lake, and some people call it Fortuna Pond or Fortuna Puddle. But there's a lot of bass there that people tend to catch. I've caught a channel cat out of there and a trout out of there before.
That's cool. I've got a little puddle like that here, and we catch bullhead out of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, bullhead. I'm like, dude, that was like a pound bullhead you pulled out of this cow pond, pretty much.
I remember when I was a kid, we were fishing a lake there in California called Lake Paris,
Yeah, I've actually heard of Lake Paris.
and we were fishing on one side that was nothing but rock. We were right there next to the water's edge. I was like, me as a kid, sitting there playing in the rocks and stuff. I pulled out enough rocks to where I could see water, basically. I was okay. Let me drop my hook in here, just to see what's in here, if there's anything in here. Dang, probably 8-inch bullhead catfish out of there.
Oh man,
I was like, in the rocks right here? What the heck?
if only we could use them as bait here.
I know.
That'd be nice. Because I was like, hey Joseph, on the Colorado, can we use bullhead as bait? Because I was out fishing that pond the weekend before the tournament, and we were just reeling in bullhead left and right. And I'm like, bro, can we use bullhead? He's like, no, it's illegal here. Because I don't know straight until I researched and someone helped me out with the county. Different counties have different rules.
Oh, yeah, I think I sent you something, too, though.
Oh, was that you that sent me all that?
Yeah, I sent you like a little screenshot things of...
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was you. And then I screenshotted that. So, now I know. Because what is it? There's a lake I fish here that you're not allowed to use bluegill. Or not bluegill, goldfish.
Yeah, you can't use goldfish in some areas, yeah.
Right. And I'm like, oh, you can use goldfish up there. I might as well give it a whirl.
No, yeah, it's like, for me, growing up, it's like, I think I had mentioned earlier how we would used to go to, like, Blythe and stuff fishing, and there we would stop at a bait shop that's out there and buy some goldfish and fish those there, but it's like, my dad would always say, oh, yeah, we'll catch something off those goldfish. I don't think we ever did. We ended up bringing those goldfish home and just having them as pets later on.
Yeah, no, my buddy has like this awesome bait tank, and I brought some salties home from the tournament, and they're still alive, so I'm gonna bring them back up this weekend.
Oh, nice.
I still keep them, give them a whirl.
Was that a goat?
But from what I have 6 goats.
Oh, nice.
6 goats. I've got 22 quail.
You have quail?
Yes, sir. I got Coturnix.
I was just about to ask what kind.
Yeah, Coturnix, and I don't know the name. My roommate would know the other name of them.
I know there's
The bigger quail, because Coturnix are the small ones. And then he has another species of Coturnic that only lays blue eggs.
The Celadon ones, I believe.
And these are for his reptile shop, too, and the tegus I have. Tegus are a big lizard that I breed.
Oh, yeah, I used to raise quail for a little bit. It was the little Coturnix quail.
I love quail. They're a really cool bird. They're down there. They're up there with my favorite bird next to a roadrunner. Roadrunner's my favorite because they're little velociraptors.
Well, those Coturnix quail, they're kind of dumb birds though too. At the same time, they have no
Yeah.
fear of anything really. When like the ones that I was raising, they had no fear of anything. They'd let whatever got close up to them next to their pen, and just let whatever grab them, pull them out of the thing, and it's just like, what the heck? Why would you want to die a horrible death getting pulled through your thing? But yeah, they're cool birds. The eggs are good though. That was one thing that I enjoyed.
High in protein too.
Yep.
A delicious bird to eat themselves.
I don't think I've ever ate any of mine.
Not the Coturnix, like the ones that run.
Well, I've heard both.
What are the names?
Well, it's like the bobwhite.
Yeah, that's what they're called. Yeah.
Oh, bobwhite quail.
Yes.
Loud little suckers too.
Delicious too. Delicious. They're above dove for me.
That's like I don't think I've ever tried quail yet.
Quail's really good. You need like 10, 20 of them to get full of them.
And the dove, I've had dove before. I've made dove jalapeno poppers. Those came out delicious.
Oh, I'm gonna try that now. I never thought of that.
Well,
Man.
bacon,
I will
bacon
try that
wrapped
now.
dove jalapeno poppers.
I am doing that.
And so far, that's the only way I honestly will eat them because dove has a very interesting taste to it, though, too, just by itself.
They do. They have a higher gamey taste.
I didn't really taste gamey. It was more like tinny, like metal, like almost like blood taste.
I didn't taste metal in mine. Maybe it's just a seasoning.
Maybe. Yeah, because I've done I've had rabbit before too, and rabbit. Some people say it tastes like chicken and stuff. It honestly kind of does.
It does. It's not as tender.
Yeah, it's very very tough.
I've had rattlesnake before. Rattlesnake was really good.
I've had it as well. I didn't enjoy it.
I liked it myself,
it was
but
very
I can't
fishy to
bring
me.
myself to kill it. I can't bring myself to kill a rattlesnake. Because I breed rattlesnakes.
yeah.
I love rattlesnakes. I actually have a rattlesnake that I put around my neck and hold and kiss.
Oh wow,
Yeah. His name's Steve. I named him after Steve Irwin,
that's
my
awesome.
idol. Yeah.
That's awesome. And it's funny you say that because like, as a kid growing up, that was like my thing. I was like, I'm gonna be like Steve Irwin.
That was me, man. When he died, I cried.
Yep. And there was things that it's like I read recently that I guess the videographer for him for when that happened, Steve, I guess had told him, hey, whatever happens, just keep the cameras rolling.
Yeah. I watched that video and I don't want to watch it no more.
Yeah.
You can see him pulling the thing out of his chest, the ray barb.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, my man, Steve.
Yep.
Be kind to animals. Unless you're eating them, You make sure you eat them all. If you kill an animal, eat it. Don't kill an animal for sport.
Oh no, so talking about stuff like that, there was a thing probably about a year and a half ago I heard. Somebody was going around killing beavers. And just
Really?
and just leaving them there. And
I couldn't do it.
it's just like, well, the heck's going on? Because there was like multiple beavers that were just killed and just left in a spot.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
And it's just like, how can people sit there and do stuff like that?
I couldn't bring myself to kill an animal. Just leave it there. I don't care what it is. It's spiders. I love spiders. I got a black widow I hold. Like, so here's a fun fact about spiders. So like black widows. All true spiders are called true spiders, and then you have tarantulas. So tarantulas don't have brains. They have a group of nerve endings that come together called ganglia, which tarantulas are all reactions. Like the Arizona blondes you see around Arizona, they're all just reaction. They don't have a brain, nothing. The only spider that really has a brain is a jumping spider.
Oh wow.
That's crazy, right? That's a
Yeah,
fun
it is
fact.
crazy. Something new. Because I've caught like tarantulas before, kept them as pets for a bit, let them go. Sat there, played with jumping spiders.
Jumping spiders are
Those
way
are
cool.
pretty cool. Because they'll sit there and they'll
Way
actually
cool.
like look at you and like observe you, and
Right, which
like try and figure you
they have
out
brains,
almost.
they're actually reading you, checking you out, like what's going on here.
Yeah, it's interesting learning that now that tarantulas are more reactive than anything.
That's all they are, reaction.
Yeah, because I've had a scorpion as a pet before, and that was totally different. Even though it is part of like the arachnid family.
Yep. Scorpions are cool, but we have the most dangerous one in the entire country here, the Arizona bark scorpion.
Oh yeah,
They don't mess around.
I've had emperor scorpion as a pet.
Yeah, those are cool. They get really big.
And then, so I used to work in pest control. So I used to kill all sorts of spiders and bugs and stuff.
It's your job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my job. And there was one day where I was doing a termite treatment under a house. And as soon as I crawled into the crawl space, right there to the left of me, there was a big old giant, I think it was a hairy giant scorpion.
Yeah. They get big too.
It was
The giant hairy.
giant hairy, yeah. It was
Yeah.
huge, but it was already dead, so I was like, what the heck's going on here? I was like, this is a pretty cool little specimen. Bring it home. Brought it home and I put it in epoxy.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
Yeah, so I saved
Like
it.
they have the necklaces and everything, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it was pretty cool, and it took it a while for it to dry out and everything, and finally, once it dried out, it looks nice now.
Oh, you still have it?
Yeah, I still have it.
Cool.
Well, I don't know. I think we've kind of hit the end already now.
All right, brother. It's wonderful talking to you, man. I really appreciate the invite.
No, yeah, I enjoyed this. This was definitely a learning experience for sure, because there's a few things that
For
I've learned.
both of us.
So, with closing out now, you got any plugs and stuff that you want to plug away at?
Yeah, look me up on Outdoor Certified. I have a website. I have an Instagram. Check me out on my Instagram. It's the same. Outdoor Certified. All the likes, comments, everything helps. It does help with the algorithm and everything.
Definitely, for sure. Give both
And
of
I will
us.
put my link in your description, and I'll put your link in my description. Help us both out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You got any links you want to plug?
Other than plugging 928 Flathead Boys, that's the main one that I always plug, just because of how much Joseph's a big help with tackle and tips and whatnot.
Absolutely. That's
So-
an awesome person right there. 928 Flathead Boys, just so you guys know.
Yep, go check it out on Facebook. Other than that, check out both of us on Instagram and YouTube. And with that,
All right. It's
yeah, go ahead.
awesome meeting you, brother.
Oh, you
I'm
too.
sure we'll meet in person soon.
Oh yeah, don't hang up though right now when I sign off. Hopefully.
Oh, no. You're worried. No worries.
Okay. So with that, we'll see you guys next time. Tight lines. Whoops, wrong button.